Hi friends, I'm Santosh. Welcome to Bioremedial online classes. Today we will discuss one more new chapter, control and coordination. One of the important and interesting chapter. We will understand how living organisms respond to stimuli. Students, there are various types of stimuli in our surroundings. Stimuli can be defined as the sudden change of environment, and different organisms react differently to the different types of stimuli. Then, how do they react or respond to the stimuli? What are the organs, what are the systems involved in responding the stimuli? We will learn in this chapter. One more example we will discuss that students, suppose uh, one of your friend slaps you, but you are doing that in return, you are also giving a big slap to him or her. But at the same time, in the same case, imagine suppose your father or a teacher slaps you. What are you doing? Are you slapping back? Yes. When you are getting a slap from a friend, you immediately look at your friend and suddenly you react in that way. But when you see your elder, your parents or teacher is slapping you, you immediately think for a while and you immediately decide what to do and what not to do. So, who take the decision? Actually, how this comes to our mind that I should not do this. So, there is a system present in our body that controls everything, all the decisions we are making, all the work we are doing. That system is our nervous system. There are some work also we are doing without our consciousness, means without our will. For example, suppose we are walking on the road and we step on a sharp object, we immediately take out our leg or take out our foot in order to prevent the injury. So, in that time, there is also the same control and system that help us to take away our food from the sharp object. This is a spontaneous action that is not involved in our thinking process, but it is a part of the control and coordination system that protect us from the injury or the harm. So, in this chapter, we will learn how various organisms respond to various types of stimuli and how they protect us by their control and coordination. Hello, students. Let us understand control and coordination. Students, living organisms respond to the stimuli in various ways. There are various organs work together to produce a suitable response to a particular stimulus is called coordination. This control and coordination in higher animals, including human being, takes place through nervous system as well as hormonal system. Let us understand some important organs that are responsible for the coordination system. Students, look at the sense organs. There are 5 sense organs present in our body, such as eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. These sense organs receive various informations from the surroundings and send it to the central nervous system. Students, what are receptors? Actually, receptors are the group of cells present in the sense organs which receive the stimulus. Various types of receptors are present in various types of sense organs. Students, the receptor which are present in eye is called photoreceptors. Similarly, the receptor present in ear known as phonoreceptors. Similarly, the receptor present in nose called olfactoreceptors. Similarly, students, the receptors present in tongue is called gustatoreceptors, and the skin receptor is known as thermoreceptors. All the receptors in sense organs receive the stimuli from the surroundings and send to the nervous system in form of electrical impulse through sensory nerves. The central nervous system send responses to the appropriate effectors. Now we should understand what are effectors. Effectors is a part of body which can respond to a stimulus according to the instruction come from central nervous system. The effectors can be muscle, effector can be organ, and effector can be gland. Now students, look at the coordination in human being. How coordination takes place through human being. There are two systems that help in coordination in human being. Those systems are nervous system and hormonal system or endocrine system. Look at the first system, that is human nervous system. Students, human nervous system consists of brain and spinal cord and nerves. Each organ in nervous system is composed of a specialized cell called nerve cell or neurons. Let us look at the structure of neurons first. Students, this is the structure of neurons. We should look at the structure carefully. Neuron has a three part: cell body, then dendrites, then axon. Okay, cell body, students, it is a specialized cell that contains cytoplasm and a nucleus. The cytoplasm and nucleus combinedly called cell body. In dendrites, students, dendrites are the cytoplasmic extension that actually receive informations from all over the surroundings. And finally, the axon, it is a long cylindrical protoplasmic extension of the cell body which carries impulses away from the cell body and pass to the nerve ending. Students, here is the dendrites. It will receive the information from the surrounding, it will pass to the cell body, through cell body it will go through the axon, and finally it will reach at nerve ending. Let us look at how the neurons are arranged in the body. The arrangement of neurons. The neurons are arranged in nervous tissue in head to tail basis. There is a minute gap present between the nerve ending of one neuron and the dendrites of other neuron, which is called synapse. The minute gap between the two neurons is known as synapse. The transmission of nerve impulse from one neuron to the next is why called synaptic transmission. Now students, types of neurons. There are three types of neurons such as sensory neurons, some are motor neurons, and some are relay neurons. The function of sensory neurons, it carries impulses from the receptors and send it towards central nervous system. Motor neurons, they carry impulses from the central nervous system towards effectors. And the function of relay neurons, they only link between sensory neurons and motor neurons at central nervous system. Now look at neurotransmitters. Students, neurotransmitters are the chemical substances released at the synapse during transmission of nerve impulse, which is recognized by the dendrite of next neurons. Now students, look at the classification of nervous system. Nervous systems are mainly classified into two parts. One is peripheral nervous system, PNS, or second one is central nervous system, that is CNS. Let us understand what is peripheral nervous system. All the nerves of the body forms peripheral nervous system. It is of three types. The nerves include spinal nerves, cranial nerves, and visceral nerves. Spinal nerves are the nerves that arise from spinal cord and spread all over the body except head region. It has both sensory as well as motor neurons. Cranial nerves, as the name suggests, it arises from cranium or brain and spread all over the head region only. Whereas visceral nerves, these nerves mostly arise from spinal cord, few are arise from brain, but are connected to internal organs of the body. Now students, peripheral nervous system is further two part. One is autonomic nervous system, second is voluntary nervous system. Look at the autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system controls the activities of internal organs. It has specific network of nerves which controls the process of breathing, heartbeat, digestion, sweating, etc. Voluntary nervous system, it helps us to take voluntary actions under the control of the brain. Students, central nervous system. Central nervous system consists of brain and spinal cord. Let us understand the two parts of the central nervous system, that is brain and spinal cord. Students, brain is the highest coordinating center of the body. It is located inside the skull of the head. It is protected by a bony box in the skull called cranium. It is surrounded by a three membrane called meninges which protect the brain mainly. The space between membranes is filled with cerebrospinal fluid that protect the brain from mechanical shocks. Now students, let us understand the structure of the brain. Very important part of the body, that is the brain. Look at the structure. It has mainly three parts. One is, we know this part is called forebrain. Forebrain as a main part, that is cerebrum. And this part is our midbrain. And the lower part is known as hindbrain. It has further two parts. Here is pituitary gland present in the brain, it lies, and the lower part is extended as spinal cord, and it is the outer, the protecting layer is called cranium, inside which the brain presents. Students, brain is broadly divided into three parts: forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. Let us understand each one of the part has what are the functions. The major part of the forebrain is cerebrum. It has different area for different functions. The sensory areas where the informations are received from various sense organs. The motor areas from which the instructions are sent to the effectors. There are some association area which controls the thinking and memories. Now students, midbrains. It controls the reflex movement of the head, neck and trunk. It also controls the reflex movement of eye muscles, pupil size and shape of the eyelids. Lastly, hindbrains. It has further two types: bones which take part in regulating breathing and respiration, a cerebellum that helps in maintaining posture and balance of the body. It coordinates smooth body movements such as walking, dancing, riding cycle, picking up anything from the floor, etc. It controls the medulla oblongata, the last part of the hindbrain. It controls various involuntary functions like heartbeat, blood pressure, peristaltic movement, etc. It also regulates swallowing, coughing, sneezing, vomiting and salivation. This is all about the brain. Now understand, let us look at the spinal cord. It is a cylindrical structure, begins with the continuation of medulla oblongata of the brain. It is enclosed in a bony cage called vertebral column. There are 31 pairs of nerves arise from it and spread all over the body. It conducts nerve impulses to and from the brain. It acts as a center for reflex action. Student, the one very important function we should understand now, reflex action. Reflex action is the spontaneous response to a stimulus which is not under the voluntary control of brain. It's called reflex action. Very good example let us discussed, students, whenever our hand touches any hot object, our hand immediately taken away from the hot object without thinking. Actually, who takes the decision to take out the hand? When the sense reaches to the central nervous system by the thermoreceptors of the skin, at the central nervous system, the spinal cord immediately turns the informations towards motor neurons to take away the hand from the hot object. This action actually carried away only to protect the body from the emergency cases. If there is any emergency, the messages also sent to the effectors by our spinal cord. This role of spinal cord helps the body to be safe from any sort of injury or emergency. In this way, spinal cord reduces the brain work. Lastly, students, reflex arc. The path taken by the nerve impulse during a reflex action is called reflex arc. Sometimes there is a little bit confusion between reflex action and reflex arc. Reflex action is a spontaneous response from a stimulus, but reflex arc is the path taken by nerve impulse during a reflex action, which means the reflex arc includes the path from the receptor to the spinal cord and from the spinal cord to the effector is called reflex arc. Now students, we have understood the function of brain and spinal cord. In this way, the nervous system helps us in coordinating the activities. Now one more system also responsible, that is hormonal system or endocrine system. Students, this system includes various endocrine glands and their secretions. There are various glands that produce hormones which act as chemical messengers to coordinate some activities in human being. Let us understand what are hormones. There are the chemical substances secreted in small amount by endocrine glands. As endocrine glands are the ductless, they pour their secretion directly into the blood. Hormones have effect on the part other than the place of secretion. It is one more important function of the hormone, that which part it is produced, but the action is at different part. Hormones act on specific tissue or organs called target organs. Hormones coordinates the growth and activities of the body. Let us understand what are the glands produce various types of hormones. Those are endocrine glands. There are 5 main endocrine glands present in our body, such as pituitary, thyroid, pancreas, adrenal and gonads, testes in male and ovary in female. Let us understand the function of each one of the endocrine glands. Pituitary gland, students, it is present just below the brain. In addition to many hormones, it secretes the main hormone, that is growth hormone or somatotropic hormone. Students, this growth hormone or somatotropic hormone controls the growth of the body. Increased secretion of growth hormone leads to a disorder called gigantism, where the body grows irrationally in comparison to the body, heads, hands, legs are not in a proper growth. Similarly, deficiency of growth hormone cause another disorder called dwarfism, where the growth is not proper according to the age. One more important function of pituitary gland, students, it produces many hormones that stimulate other endocrine glands to secrete their respective hormones. That is why pituitary gland is also known as the master gland, because it regulates the function of other endocrine glands. Look at the second gland, that is thyroid gland. This thyroid gland is attached to the windpipe in our body. It produces an important hormone called thyroxine. Students, it contains iodine. So deficiency of iodine in the diet can cause the deficiency in thyroxine hormone. The deficiency in thyroxine hormone causes enlargement of thyroid gland, leads to a disorder called goiter. Now students, let us understand pancreas gland. This gland is present just below the stomach. It secretes main hormones insulin and glucagon. Insulin helps to decrease the blood glucose level. Due to the lack of insulin in the body, the disease caused is diabetes. Students, in this disease, patient excretes urine frequently and get rid of sugar from the blood. Due to frequent urination, patient feels thirsty. Now students, another gland is our adrenal gland. There are two adrenal glands located on the top of each kidney. The important hormone it produces, that is adrenaline, which controls the stress and anger. Testes, similarly, there are two testes present in a sac-like structure called scrotum in male. This gland produces male sex hormone or testosterone. Student, testis is present inside a sac called scrotum outside the body because the spermatogenesis or formation of sperms needs at least 2 to 3 degree lesser temperature than body temperature. That is why it is located outside the body. It secretes the main hormone testosterone, which is responsible for the secondary characters and also production of sperms. And lastly, ovary. Two main ovaries lie inside the abdominal cavity in female body. Ovary produces the female sex hormones called estrogen, progesterone, etc. It also produces ova or eggs. Last part of this hormonal system is feedback mechanism. It is a wonderful system in the body, students. It is the auto-regulation of the secretion of the hormones is called feedback mechanism. For example, when the blood sugar becomes high, the insulin is produced. The insulin start decreasing the sugar level. After the sugar level becomes normal, the insulin secretion exactly will be stopped after being normal of sugar level. So this is a automatic system that the hormone which is released for a particular cause, when it is over, the secretion of the hormone will automatically stop. In this way, we have understood, students, living organisms, the control and coordination takes place in their body by two systems in higher animals, that is endocrine system or hormonal system and nervous system. So thank you very much for watching this video. In the next part, we will discuss about how coordination takes place in plants. Thank you.